Hi, I'm Kat Feingold, and I'm with the Army Corps of Engineers Hydrologic Engineering Center. And today, we're going to be taking a quick look at the use of the HEC-HMS Calibration Library script for use in HEC-RTS. So the HEC-HMS Calibration Library script is designed for two specific things. One is to export and archive calibrated HEC-HMS parameter overrides that you may have created from an active forecast to a calibration library that can be then imported later. So, which brings us to the second portion of it. It imports an existing HEC-HMS parameter override file from a calibration library into an active forecast. So what does that mean? It means that you may have spent minutes, hours, days, weeks, dare I say years, possibly creating the perfect HMS calibration, and you wish to use it some other time in some other place or share it with your coworkers. There is an easy way to do that now via this script. Let's kick everything off and show you where it is and how to use it. First thing that you'll be doing is you're going to need to go ahead and download said script. So in order to download it, which there will be a link directly below this video, to download it, you're going to go ahead and go to GitHub. So on GitHub, there's a Hydrologic Engineering Center area, and there's a repo for the HMS Calibration Library. So you'll go ahead and follow this link, and our very own Russell Arrett wrote the script up for everybody. If you are not on a CorpNet or an Army Corps of Engineers computer, you can just go ahead and download the raw file. Now, if you are on CorpNet at the time this video was made, if you do that, you'll go ahead and you'll get all of the pieces that say, hey, we're going to go ahead and do this. And you'll click save, and it'll come up here, but you'll get it blocked by your organization. So on the off chance that this is also something that you see, what you can do is you can come over here to this little button, and you can just copy the raw file. If you click on that, it copies the entire file. Then what you're going to go ahead and do is go ahead and open up your HEC-RTS. I happen to have one already open along with a watershed. Now you have to make sure you have your watershed open. This is an important step. Once you have that, you can go ahead and go to your script editor, found up here under scripts. Once that opens up, you're going to go ahead and click new, this button right here. So I already have an HMS calibration library script, but for this purpose, we're going to go ahead and create a new one. Now you may name this whatever you would like. I'm going with the easy recognition of naming it exactly what it does. I even spelled it right. However, since I already have one, we're going to call this video because that's what we're doing today. And you'll get this blank page. So you're going to go ahead and paste, either through right-clicking and pasting or your Control-V, and you're going to paste in what you just copied down from the GitHub repo. Once you're in here, and you already have a watershed open, you can click either Save and just save it, and it'll come up. Or if you already have something you want to do, go ahead and click Save and Run. And then this handy-dandy little dialog box is going to come up. Once you have this pop-up is broken into three different sections. You have your top section, which is your calibration library directory, your import calibration file, and your export calibration file. So one of each section. So underneath your top section, your calibration library directory, that is where your calibration library is going to be housed. Now the default is to go ahead and create a folder under your master watershed, and it's called Calibration Library. You have the option to change your remote directory, to download from a remote directory, or to upload to another directory. So what that would look like is if you clicked to change it, you could go ahead and browse to where you wanted to pull this from in case you and others are sharing a calibration library. However, I'm going to stick with the default. If you were to download it, it's the same way you would browse for any other file that you were downloading. So if you already shared a directory and you didn't just want to change it, you could go ahead and open a particular file this way. Same thing for uploading. Now let's step to the import calibration file section. So if this is the very first time you opened this up, this will be completely blank. There will be nothing here. For the sake of this video, we're going to say that you already have something here. So let us say that a teammate or yourself spent some time creating the perfect calibration for a forecast you wish to run. So you click on that calibration that you want. And then you're going to come down here and you're going to click import. And it's going to take it just a second, but then this dialog will pop up. So you have to open it in an existing forecast. If you do not have an existing forecast, go ahead, cancel this out, create a forecast, save it, and then come back to it. I created a forecast a little earlier today, so I want to import that HMS into that existing forecast. You select it, you click OK, and open, and then this little pop-up will come out. This tells you it's been copied. Huzzah! That's it. That's all you need to do. And then you would go ahead and run your forecast with your new HMS parameters that you had previously saved. And you're done. But let us say that you, my good user, spent minutes, hours, days, weeks, dare I say months, creating the perfect HMS calibration parameters that you would like to hang on to. Let us say it was because you had an atmospheric river, or perhaps a hurricane, or maybe one of those insane giant storms that pour through the Midwest. So you would create your forecast. You would go into HMS from HEC-RTS. You would change all of your override parameters. And then when you were ready, and only when you were ready, you would come back to here by running save run. Once it opens up, you would come all the way down after ensuring that it is saving where you want it to. You would come all the way down here to the export calibration file. And here is where you get to name your piece, well, your calibration override. So if you have multiple basins in a watershed and you would like for a specific one to remember that this is for a specific HMS forecast, you can go ahead and name it that. This is completely at your discretion. I would highly recommend that you come up with some kind of naming convention within your own office. So here we're just going to call it Savannah. Let's say it's after a hurricane. My particular one is a very, very wet forecast because it was following a hurricane. So the ground was already saturated. So I'm going to call it Savannah Basin. Hurricane follow. Again, I highly recommend that you come up with a naming convention inside your own office. You can see here we've got dry conditions, normal winter dry, extreme wet conditions. So this is what I would like to go ahead. Or actually, let's get rid of follow. Let's just go with Savannah Basin Hurricane. And then all I do is I click export. And then this will come up and tell me that my HMS calibration file has been copied to my library. Okay, cool. Now it will not update here, so you have to click close, and you can rerun it. And as you see, now my HMS overrides have been saved into my calibration library for any time that I wish to go ahead and pull them back in. That's it. That's all you need to do in order to utilize this script. So I hope you have a really great time creating and spending as much time as you want on all of your HEC-HMS calibrations, and know with complete confidence that you can utilize it further on down the line. Thank you so much for your attention, and we hope you have a really great day. And if you have any additional questions, please go ahead and visit any one of these links, which will also be hyperlinked down below this video. Again, thanks and have a great day.